and welcome to Shell Point Today for Thursday, September 10th. I'm Adam Brown. Thanks for joining us. On today's show, we will have more on the story of the discovered painting at the thrift store. And we'll visit with Erica May, who manages the store, to find out about other treasures that are waiting to be discovered there. But first, we want to remind you that this Saturday will be the showing of the movie Woman in Gold. Released just this year, this film is about an elderly Jewish woman, played by Helen Mirren, who attempts to reclaim a family portrait that is considered an Austria national treasure. She enlists the help of a young lawyer, played by Ryan Reynolds, in this lengthy legal battle to recover the painting. The film will be shown in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands Saturday at 2 p.m. and then again at 7 p.m. The Gulf Coast Model Railroad in the tunnel on the island is getting ready to open its doors once again for an exciting season complete with new additions and upgrades. This popular attraction is open to residents and guests of Shell Point and is operated completely by volunteers. Currently, there is a need for docents to showcase the display, train operators, and greeters. Grab your ticket and hop aboard the volunteer train. For more information, call Melody Desolé at 454-2290. Finally, don't forget that tonight is the final event of the summer concert series. Jazz pianist and composer Dick Hyman takes the stage at 7:30 p.m. at the Village Church. Individual tickets are just $20 for this exciting tribute to big bands and combos, as Hyman highlights some of the greats such as Benny Goodman, Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, and more. Come on out and enjoy some of your favorites from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. On yesterday's program, we told you about a painting that was discovered in the Shell Point Community Thrift Store that ended up being returned to the family of its originator. Best-selling author Pete Early was delighted to have his mother's 70-year-old painting returned to him after all these years. There was much mystery surrounding the painting as everyone wondered just exactly how it ended up many miles and many years later in our thrift store. Today, we introduce to you the couple who actually donated the painting to the thrift store, as we discover they had a family connection to the artwork as well. Here are Larry and Betsy Smith of Rosemont.
Well, I was reading Shell Point Life, and I came to this page and I saw this picture and I thought, wow, that looks like a photo of a painting that Larry and I had in our home for a long time, and I think I took it to the community thrift store. And then I read the paragraph, and that's exactly where it was, and someone had bought it and found out about the artist, and researched the artist, who is Jean Early, and found that it belonged originally to the family of Pete Early, who's a well-known editor and author. I emailed him, and on his website I got in contact with him, and I told him that we had been the owners of this painting by his mother. When we were moving, I had to thin out for storage purposes. I had shown it to Larry, and I said, this was Jean Early's painting, that she had given it to Larry's mother as a gift, and I hate to part with it, but what can we do? We have all these things, so we're thinning out, and so I decided to give it to the community thrift store. That's how it ended up at the thrift store.
Well, for me, it rings a bell because my mother would always talk about her. I mean, they were just wonderful friends. They grew up together as young girls. They just lived close, very closely together. Their houses were nearby, and it was rural. There were no other little girls to play with. So they had a great time together doing all kinds of stuff. No cities nearby, so they just got out and did stuff and had a good time. And we're just best buddies. Maintained a close relationship for their entire lives. And they were both interested in art, and they enjoyed life together, and they enjoyed each other's company.
I would hear Ginny tell about those remembrances, and it was really interesting to me because I grew up very close by to where the two of these best friends grew up. And it was a lovely place in Saucon Valley, Pennsylvania. Well, their pets, I think their dogs, I think were a great part of their life. I know they loved playing outside with the dog. And we learned more details about their friendship, especially before the two girls were married. They went to Atlantic City together and were waitresses. And then Larry's mother, Ginny, was best maid of honor in Jean's wedding. So they were really, really good friends for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. And from Pete, we learned then that they stayed in touch, and Ginny and Dave visited his parents in South Dakota. I had remembered it as North Dakota, so I learned that was corrected. And then I looked, where has this painting been for 60 years? Help us solve this mystery. We were very happy that it had come full circle and been returned to him. And I told him that it went from Saucon Valley, Pennsylvania to Marymount, Ohio, where we had it in our family room for a number of years. It was kind of a rustic family room, and it did have mountains, and we had ski pictures there and a fireplace. And then it came to Florida with us, and it was on a condo on the Atlantic coast for 10 years until we moved to Shell Point.
So now let's take you out to the community thrift store to talk with store manager Erica May. Rich Nation visits with her to find out about some of the many treasures awaiting to be discovered and how Erica and her team go about assessing the value of these artworks.
Well, we are at the community thrift store here on McGregor, and I'm here with thrift store manager Erica May. Erica, thanks for joining us.
Hi.
I see you have some artwork here, and that's
Yes.
what we wanted to mainly focus on today, is some of the beautiful artwork that's available for anyone to purchase here at Shell Point. Tell us a little bit about some of this artwork. How do you get these, first off, and how do you know how much to price them for?
Well, we get all varieties of artwork on almost a daily basis. Most of them do come from Shell Point residents when they decide to donate to our store, which is really appreciated. We also get outside donations, so you never know really, where it's coming from or what we're getting. So, like I've said before, it's like Christmas every day when we get donations, and as these pieces attest, this particular one here is signed, and it's an original. You can feel the brush strokes on it. So here's an example of a nice piece of artwork. It's a little higher price than most of the items that we have here, but
right.
The gamut.
Well, you can see it's very beautiful. Mm-hmm. What kind of people, the customers that come to buy here, do they know the type of artwork that you have and the type of items that you're selling? What are these customers like?
Well, most of the customers come in, and it's just like anything. It, draws, whether it's the color that they're looking for, in a room that they're trying to fill, or just like a nice serenity type of painting. Some just buy it strictly for the frame, or if it's matted. We have several people that come in and they want us to measure, and so they don't even care what the piece of artwork is. They just want the frame and the matting that goes with it.
Because frames can be quite expensive.
Yes.
If you go and buy them at custom made or at a frame store. So it's more than just the artwork. The entire piece is art, really.
Right, and then there's a few people that have their own little side business, and they'll buy it for resale. So they specifically will ask, anything interesting came in today, and we're like, yes, here's a piece here, and this one's a little bit higher price. It's a famous painting, but it's also double matted, and it has the glass. So anytime that there's glass over a painting, that's always a higher priced item, just right off the get-go. So.
Okay, so Erica, a painting comes in here, or really any type of artwork. Mm-hmm. It might be, something else. How do you find out the worth of it? How do you know? Because as we know, there's been some valuable items that have come through the thrift store,
Right.
just like recently. And how would you find out the value of these items?
Well, the first thing we do is we just look at it to see what kind of condition it's in. And then we see what type of frame it's in. And then we look to see, okay, does that look like a famous painting? We look to see if there's an artist signature on the bottom. And then, you know, we gather that type of information, and if it's something that we think, especially if it's an original or if it has a number on it, then we'll research it. And then if it gets to the point where we think, oh my goodness, that's really worth a lot of money, then we have a couple people we can call to give expert opinion on. So.
Great, great. Well, you were telling me earlier, Erica, that, you know, about a large quantity of donations that you'll get here at the thrift store, everything from clothes to furniture to dishes to works of art. Talk a little bit about the processing of these. I mean, it's quite an undertaking, I understand.
Right. Well, we have several different committees that work on the donations, but one side is strictly clothing and linens, and they sort through that and put them in different bins depending on the size or if it's male or female, and short sleeve, long sleeve, that type of items. And then we have what's called bric-a-brac, which is all the other miscellaneous, whether it's a picture, whether it's you know, a mug, whether it's a piece of china. We have a lot of Lenox pieces that come in, you know, things like that. And then we have that group examine those type of items, and then they get priced as well.
The proceeds from the sales of those items goes to help other people, is that right?
Right. The seniors in Southwest Florida is what we focus on, and then we have 15, actually over 15 different charitable organizations that our proceeds go towards. So we're really excited about that.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's say a customer comes in the store and they're looking for a particular item. How do you help them with that? Can you help them find that item? What is involved in that?
Yes, we'll just take them and we'll walk down, and if they're looking for a particular item, you know, most of us are knowledgeable of what's here in the store, even though we get donations in on a daily basis. And then we'll just walk with the customer and let's go find this together. And it's one-on-one customer service, and they really appreciate that. But we search together, so it's a team effort.
You know, a lot of stores today, they have taken what used to be called the information superhighway, the internet, and you look at a lot of bookstores, that's how they do business now. How are you addressing that? Is Shell Point Community Thrift Store using the internet as well?
Yes, we have our own Facebook page. And then recently I created our own Craigslist account, and so we're featuring anything from designer clothing on there to furniture to pieces of art, the gamut. And we've gotten a lot of calls just from Craigslist ads just in the last few weeks that I'm really excited about. So
that is exciting. That is exciting. And I understand that it seems like every time I come in here, Erica, there's a sale going on. There's some kind of sale, right?
Yeah, everybody loves sales.
Yes.
Right.
So not only do you get a great buy because you're getting something that is gently used or an item that would be, you know, cheaper than at a store, but then you're putting it on sale.
Yes, yes. Everybody loves a bargain, and you know, I want to please the customer, and I know how I like to shop, and everybody likes a sale, so we have a lot of great merchandise here. So here you are.
Right. So if you've never been over here to the community thrift store, we'd like to encourage you to do so. There is a vast array of items to go through, and you just don't know, you might find just what you're looking for, or a true treasure and a true find. So come on out and see Erica and have some great shopping items to take advantage of.
Thank you.
Tomorrow is Friday, and in case you don't know what that means, it's time to come on out to the administration courtyard for some sunshine, fresh air, and to take advantage of some fresh produce, crafts, and other fine products from local vendors. Here's Katelyn Van Scoy to take us on a tour.
Hello, it's a beautiful Friday morning, and I'm here in the administration courtyard with our vendors from our Friday market. We have a lot of changes going on, and let's go meet some of our new vendors. I'm here with Carol Shaw, and she does handmade baskets. And tell me what the process is for making one of these baskets.
Well, first you have to determine what your shape is going to be, and then you lay it all out and you cut it and hope that you don't make a mistake when you're cutting. And you just sit there with a bucket of water and you read and keep on weaving. Baskets like this one I can weave while I'm sitting here because they don't need water. They're just made with ribs. But then I have some that have a solid bottom. And I have market baskets since we're at a market.
And
a bike basket.
what's that over there?
Now this is my cork wreath. This is made with regular, real corks, and it can be used as a centerpiece or it can be hung on the wall. I have another wreath on the other side of the table that is all synthetic wreaths. I like to go to the beach, so I get lots of shells and pick up pine cones and start putting them into design sometimes, or no design. I like the free form. I have bags made out of feed bags from various farmers. They save me their feed bags from their animals. I bring them home and sterilize them and turn them into really, really sturdy shopping bags, beach bags. They're waterproof. They can carry watermelons. They can do just about anything.
They look very sturdy.
Yes.
So, and very practical. And tell me what's on your neck there.
Oh, this is fine jewelry. It is a necklace for the lady who has everything. A wine cork and a medallion. So.
Well, everything is very creative here, and so come check out Carol Shaw's baskets. I'm here with Dee Fox today, and Dee Fox, tell me what you're selling.
We are selling genuine gemstones set in silver. We start with all hand artisan crafted, from the large bib necklaces to dainty neckwear. Jewelry, I have authentic Indian pieces, American Indian. I have gems from all over the world, from Utah, Arizona, Africa, Bolivia, Brazil, starting at very reasonable prices. I wholesale to other stores, so the people at Shell Point will get a great deal.
Well, it sounds very international, and everything is beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm here with Colleen, our produce lady. She has a variety of produce today. Tell me what you're selling.
Oh, today we have our first crop out of Florida. Look at these beauties. These are our Florida avocado. They're awesome. We have our Florida watermelons. We always have these beautiful Georgia cantaloupes. They're coming out of Georgia right now. I have Georgia peaches, Freestone, sweet, juicy Georgia peaches. They're awesome. And, oh, plenty of other things down at the other end, but I don't have access to it. So that's our fruit situation for the time being.
And Colleen always has the highest quality produce, so come and get you some. I'm here with Dick Schulte, and he sells a beautiful array of jewelry. Tell me what you have here.
Well, we have pendants and earrings. We have necklaces that are made from natural shells. We have some bracelets. We have 3 different styles of chains. Everything from 16-inch to 30. So almost anybody can be taken care of. So we enjoy doing it. We have been doing this for 16 years, been selling jewelry. It's something we got into after we retired, and it's just been a pleasure for us. Keeps us busy, keeps us out of the bars. So we are just happy as larks selling our jewelry.
And they even have a mirror here to see how beautiful you look with his shell necklaces on.
Katelyn?
I don't know about that.
There you go, Katelyn.
So I encourage you to come out to the market, meet our friendly vendors, enjoy the beautiful weather, and just have a great day here at the Friday market. And come join us if you haven't been here for a while. Just come on out, take the bus or ride a bike. It'll be a beautiful day.
And now it's time to check out today's happenings, menus, and Village Church connections.
Welcome to the happening segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chanley, and this is Katelyn Van Scoy, and we're going to tell you about the activities that are going on here at Shell Point today. We're going to begin at 7:15 this morning with the Health Connections class, Bend, Breathe, and Balance. That's in the Health Club down on the island. 8 o'clock, we have the Men's Golf Association at the Shell Point Golf Club. Also at 8 o'clock, we have the Round Robin Doubles Tennis at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. The Paddlers Club will be leaving at 8:30 from the kayak storage on the island. Samba, the card game, will be played in the Stable Room of the Woodlands at 9 o'clock. We're going to move on to 9:15, where you'll find shuffleboard down at the shuffleboard courts on the island. Current events will be in the Game Room of the Woodlands at 9:30. At 9:30, ladies match play will be going on at the tennis courts at the Woodlands. We have introduction to line dancing in the health club at 9:45. And 10:15, we have basic line dancing also in the health club. The poetry group will be in the art studio at 10:15. And then the Susie Q leaves at 10:45 for Fathoms and Through the Locks. You do need to sign up for those. Here's Katelyn for your afternoon lineup.
Thanks, Bev. We start with Mahjong at 12:45 in the Library Lounge. And then at 1 o'clock, we have a Southwest Florida presentation in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. 2 o'clock, we have the Stamp Ministry gathering in the Stamp Room that's down in the Island Tunnel, and they're always looking for volunteers. At 2:45, we have a Health Connections class, Balance and Mobility Training Level 2 in the Health Club, and that's currently full. And then the seamstress will be here in the Osprey Room starting at 4 o'clock. And then we move to 4:30 for an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. That'll be in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. 6:30 is the time for Pinochle. That'll be in the Library Lounge. At 7 o'clock, we have the Trailblazers Bible Study gathering in the Game Room at the Woodlands. And at 7:30, we have a Summer Concert Series concert featuring Dick Hyman, the big bands and combos. That'll be at the Village Church, and you do need a ticket to get into that concert. Well, that's it for our Thursday activities. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Menus for Thursday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is portobello chicken with creamy Parmesan penne and roasted tomato. The dinner special is the Crystal Carving Board for $13.95. And the soup of the day is garden vegetable. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a tuna melt with mango slaw for $7.75. The dinner special is Thai night for $8.75. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey. On August 5th, 2015, at the abandoned mine in southwest Colorado known as Gold King, a cleanup team, don't miss that, a cleanup team inadvertently unleashed into a tributary of the Animas River 3 million gallons of toxic mining wastewater containing heavy metals such as arsenic and lead and cadmium, aluminum and copper. It's impossible with the deed to trammel up the consequences, wrote Shakespeare in Macbeth. And this spill had consequences that were very far-reaching. Within days, the fluorescent orange sludge reached Farmington and Aztec as far away as New Mexico. It was heading for the San Juan River, the Colorado River, and potentially all the way to Lake Powell in Utah. It was threatening millions of people relative to drinking water, irrigation of farmland, domestic livestock, wildlife, recreation, and in consequence, the economy. Fish are especially sensitive to water contamination, but what the impact on them would be long-term, who knows? Who knows, that is, until the pollution has run its course. Time will tell. But bottom-living organisms such as mussels and shellfish, which thrive on fast-moving streams with sand and gravel bottoms, may suffer considerably since they were smothered by sludge from the spill. Within 10 days of the disaster, however, sources began to claim that the immediate impact of the spill had largely passed. Authorities claim that the discoloration of the water should clear eventually. And on August the 14th, 9 days after the spill, the Animas River reopened for recreational use to those not bothered by the color of the water. A little later, river water was declared safe for watering livestock again, as the immediate impact had largely passed. The contaminated water had now washed down through the system. Readings of the Animas River showed a return to pre-contamination conditions. But while the worst of the crisis was apparently over, there would be serious long-term consequences from the spill. A solemn reminder of the importance of water for our survival and our well-being. It's also a reminder that 750 million people in this big, wide world don't yet have access to clean water. Anyone who has traveled in the Middle East has a profound appreciation for the importance of water. It's the first necessity of life in that dry and thirsty land. Where wars have been fought over access to oil, we're told they will one day be fought over access to water. Little wonder then that Jesus himself used water as an illustration more than once. And he didn't just talk about clean water. He used the term living water. On one occasion, for example, he was resting at noon at Jacob's well in Samaria, when a woman came to draw water. "Will you give me a drink?" Jesus asked her. "You're a Jewish man, and I'm a Samaritan woman," responded the woman. "How can you ask me for a drink? Jews don't associate with Samaritans." Jesus answered her, "If you only knew the gift of God, the gift that God has for you, and who you are speaking to, you would ask me, and I would give you living water. Everyone who drinks this water will get thirsty again and again. Anyone who drinks the water I give him will never thirst again, not ever. It becomes a fresh, bubbling spring within them, giving them eternal life." On another occasion, Jesus said, "Whoever believes in me, out of his heart will flow rivers of living water." Living water. There it is again. The words intimate that the believer in Jesus will not only have his own spiritual thirst quenched, but he will become a source of blessing for others. He becomes a positive spiritual influence for the world around him. The orange Animas River should clear completely in time, restoring blessings to millions. And if you're a believer in Jesus Christ, his living water will flow through you to bless many. May you be a blessing to someone today. And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
Thanks for joining us for today's show. This has been Shell Point Today for Thursday, September 10th. On tomorrow's show, we will learn more about the attitude of yes here at Shell Point from Kathy Miskell. And we'll recap the top stories from all this week. Until then, I'm Adam Brown. On behalf of the entire staff at SPTV, we hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.